Alright, truth and love, y'all. I had a very important message that hit me hard this morning. Um, I asked myself, because I always talked about staying in the moment and how important it is, right? But for some reason, I didn't have the courage to ask myself, what if in the moment there's trauma happening? Major trauma, small trauma, just any type of trauma, any type of unease. What if me staying in the moment meant I have to deal with that dis-ease or that trauma, right? And so I had to say to myself, well, if I'm dwelling on the past, not just on the woulda, coulda, shouldas, but things I wish I had or things I wish I was able to change, all that, right? I'm still saying that I'm not accepting the past for what it was. And so acceptance is a heart chakra thing, okay? That's a heart chakra affirmation. I accept. And so me dwelling in the past, wishing I could change things and getting stuck on the woulda, coulda, shouldas, I'm still not accepting what the past for what it was. Therefore, there is still hurt that has yet to be alchemized, right? I had to ask myself, well, I'm trying to think about the future, the things that I want, the places I want to be, all that, right? But at the same time, I'm getting built up anxiety from thinking or believing that I'm not going to make it where I want to make it. That my future isn't going to look the way I want it to look. So I'm getting all this worry from the what ifs of the future. And I have all this anxiety from the woulda, coulda, shouldas of the past. And I'm feeling defeated and hurt by things I've yet to accept from the past. And I feel defeated and hurt in advance from things that haven't even happened yet for my future. So the reason why it's so important to stay in the now, no matter how uncomfortable it is, no matter how fucked up it really may be, it would do me justice and it would do me a service to let go of the past and let go of the future, because I'm adding more angst and anxiety on top of the angst and anxiety I'm already feeling. It doesn't make sense. I'm just continuing to hurt myself. So staying in the moment and dealing with what's going on right now, be the eye of the storm. See, it may feel uncomfortable, and that's the main thing. We allow our minds to drift off here, there, and everywhere because it makes us feel certain things. If we go to the past, we feel that hurt, but we're used to it. So we're almost desensitized by it. When we drift off into the future, it may feel good for a moment, but because there are many failures that we already came across, we're thinking about future failures. And so we're desensitized to that, and we're very used to that particular hurt. What we're mostly not used to is the hurt in the moment and how to deal with it. And not only to deal with it, but to deal with it as balanced, as properly as you possibly can in that moment. If there is chaos going on in your very moment, it may hurt, it may feel uncomfortable. You may be put in a place of dis-ease, but you are allowing yourself to mentally, emotionally, and spiritually ground yourself in a place of strength, in remembering that you don't have to get caught up in that moment. As best as you can, Just be the eye of the storm. I was reminded of that. Somebody kept saying, be the eye of the storm. And I kept hearing it. I kept hearing it. Be the eye of the storm. Don't move. If you ever seen the movie Twister, go. If you never seen it, go watch it. If you have seen it, but you haven't seen it in a while, go watch the movie Twister, the old one, the one from the 90s. Be the eye of the storm. I know that the situation may look different for everybody, but the excuses as to why you're choosing not to stay in that moment kind of all look the same. Everybody's got different circumstances and different traumas that's going on. It's understandable. But if you are in a time and space where you are okay and your only chaos is your mind, then do yourself a service. Because after a while, when you don't take accountability for the power of your mind and you keep putting the blame on somebody else, you're getting caught up in the game. You're getting caught up in the blame game. You see what I'm saying? You're not doing yourself a real service. You are not doing yourself justice. And then you start to become entitled. Oh, this person owes me, and that person, they're a liar, and I deserve the truth, I deserve answers, I deserve this, I deserve that, right? When you go to a place of entitlement because you're putting the blame on others, you get stuck in feeling and thinking that you deserve something because you are serving yourself by falling into the blame game. Instead, take sole accountability for what's going on and try your best to have a higher perspective as to not only why everything is going on the way it's going on, but how it's actually helping you if you can choose to see it that way. Because once you start to see the difference between blame and accountability, you will also start to see the difference between being deserving of something versus being worthy of something. It's much easier to say, oh, well, I deserve this and I deserve that. But it's a lot harder to sit on your throne in a place of aligned royalty and say, I'm worthy of this and I'm worthy of that. And so I would invite you to do these two things today if it would help. Let go of the past, let go of the future. The best way to do that and the best way to stay in the moment is mindfulness. Okay? It's not like you got to meditate for 20 hours straight. That's not what I'm talking about. It's just take a literal 3 minutes for yourself and breathe. Focus on your breath. If your mind starts to drift off somewhere, start tapping. Tap yourself. Okay? If your mind continues to start to drift off somewhere, close your eyes. What do you smell? What do you taste? What do you hear? What do you feel? Okay? Tap into your 5 senses that can ground you in that moment. And do affirmations. Do whatever affirmations you can do. The affirmation, I accept being in this moment. It doesn't have to be difficult or hard or anything. All right? Number 2, I would invite you to say, out of all the things I feel like I deserve, what am I truly worth? What do I genuinely feel I'm worthy of? Because that's going to bring up some anxiety a little bit. It's going to bring up a little bit of worry. Because like I said, that place of being, that when you're in that mindset state of saying, I deserve this, I deserve that, it's entitlement. But once you let go of the entitlement and you sit down and you say, okay, what am I really worth? Then you're going to start to realize, or you're somewhere in your embodiment is going to start to recognize that your your sense of self-worth comes with a higher level of responsibility. Okay? So I just want to throw this out there. This is something that I continue to realize for myself. I always love to drop gems. That is my love language, y'all. Bro. I love to drop gems. I love to teach. I love to put out my wisdom. I love using my story to be able to help those who are in need, no matter what kind of position you're in. All right? You haven't heard it today. Know that I love you and I appreciate you. Peace.